Right, boys, here we are. Welcome back to the channel. Something a little bit different today. It is that time of year again, the new Premier League season starts. And today we're looking at my predictions for the 2020-21 Premier League season. I did it last year. Got loads of interaction. People down in the comments slagging me off. Mainly because I put Man United third. I got laughed at. And where did Man United finish? Third. I got two right. Man United finished third. I predicted Man City to finish first, Liverpool second, so I got that one wrong. I also predicted Norwich to finish bottom. But I weren't too far off. I was not too far off. So we'll see how I get on today. What I want you to do is, I want you to do your top 6. If you want to do all 20 teams down in the comments, some people did that last year, by all means, put it in the comments down below. If you just want to put top 4 and your bottom 3, by all means, do that. This may change. My attitude may change. There's a couple that I've thought about for a long time and still swapping and changing. I've actually swapped a couple looking at it this morning, so maybe with the transfer window not closed yet, things may change. But right now, as we speak, 2 days before the season starts, these are my predictions. Let's get into today's video. Make sure you smash a like. Check out all the other content on the channel as well. Tomorrow morning there is the football shirt review, Premier League season. I'm going to give you the ones that I love, the ones that are just meh, and there's a couple in there that are absolutely shocking. Alright guys, let's get into today's video. Alright, so we're going to do a little bit differently. Last year I did from 20 upwards. I'm going to go from 1 to 20. Now sort of like looking at my notes, I've kind of done, there's a few little league tables. I've pretty much done 4 mini tables. Top 6, a sort of like top half, and then the lower bottom half, and then the high end of the bottom half of the table, and then the relegation zone. I think a lot of these teams, I've found it quite hard. Various teams, you can pretty much put them in any order in their mini league. I still don't think that'd be far off. So obviously we've got the top 6 first. I have got the big boys in the top 6. No, I don't see anyone breaking the top 6 this year. I've swapped this 3 times. Yeah, I've had 3 teams in first position. It was out with Chelsea, Man City and Liverpool, the champions. I started with Man City, and then just more as the summer's gone on, and obviously they haven't strengthened much. Obviously they brought in Torres, but is he going to have a massive impact straight away? And Nathan Ake remains to be seen how well he gets on for City. I'm still not 100% sure if they're going to be absolutely at it. I'm not sure if we're going to see a really miserable Pep for the majority of the season, especially where the season fizzled out with the league, and then obviously the disappointment in the Champions League. Be interested to see how well they bounce back. Liverpool themselves, have they peaked? They didn't really sign anyone last year off the top of my head. They haven't signed anyone this year, back up left back. Doesn't seem to really, you know, they may well bring in Thiago still, but that seems to have gone quiet. I think they really need to do something like Thiago. Just with the buzz of the missing out on the league last year and winning the Champions League, I just feel that accelerated them through last season, winning the league. What have they got to achieve this year? I do think after a while, every squad, Sir Alex Ferguson was brilliant at it. Even though you were champions, you still need to be strengthened and looked at the next season. So it'll be interesting to see how Liverpool do. Third choice, Chelsea. For me, on paper, looking at it, if they can get their players firing straight away, they could possibly quite easily win the league. They were very good last year with a average team, you know, losing Hazard, not having that absolute gem of a player, and obviously signing the players that they have done. If they can hit the ground running, they'll be very, very dangerous. Now, I've just not put them as a league winner, just because I think it might take them in the way everything's been sort of like rushed together this sort of like pre-season. I just think it may take a couple of months for Havertz to bed in. He's literally just signed. Zetik's been there a long time, but hasn't. Obviously the pre-season's been so small that it may just take them a fair bit of time. Werner to hit the ground running as well. Maybe just be asking a little bit too much of him. But they're my top 3. So first of all, we're going to go Liverpool first. Second, Chelsea. I'm going to go Chelsea. I'm going to go third, Man City. And then fourth, I'm going to go with my team, Man United. They've strengthened with Donny van de Beek. I still thought they need the Sancho. If the Sancho deal goes through, then that may well change. And I may see, looking at them breaking into that title push. People are saying they need a centre-half and we need a left-back. For me, not necessarily. We've got decent cover in there. If we can keep Bailly fit, Luke Shaw can keep fit, Brandon Williams on the left. It would be nice to maybe bring in that, is it Reguilon, who's at Real Madrid? It'd be nice to bring him in, but if we can just bring in Sancho, I think they could really push. But just as the time it is now and the deal doesn't get done, I just think fourth is very achievable, maybe even third and second, and really challenging the top teams if they can start the season like they've finished. If you include Manchester United in the sort of like title race, there could be an opportunity for 4 teams to be really having a go at the title. So there's my top 4: Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, Man United. But as I said, that can soon change. And then coming up behind, Arsenal in 5th, and then Tottenham in 6th. Once again, I don't see them breaking the top 4. I think their squads aren't as good. Arsenal haven't strengthened a great deal. Yes, they brought this Gabriel in, but I read an interesting report on him from a French journalist who was kind of saying that he's not amazing. He's the best of a very average bunch at the moment for a centre-half, so I don't think you can really expect amazing things from him. And then obviously they've signed Willian. It's a decent size. It's a decent signing for him, but they've got options up the top end of the pitch with Pepe, Aubameyang, Lacazette, Saka, Martinelli. So did they necessarily need to go out and sign him? I suppose he's a free. So it'll be interesting to see how much he kicks on. Spurs have signed well with Doherty, but that's it. Højbjerg as well. They still need that striker, don't they? Because Harry Kane will no doubt get injured. They do need that striker, and I would have probably strengthened with another wide player. Lamela is decent. Lucas Moura too much in hot and cold sort of like form. So, and at the moment it doesn't really seem that they're linked to anybody. So there's my top 6. 7th, I've gone for Everton, mainly because we've always said this is a season for Everton. This is a season for Everton. I was never entirely convinced with Silva anyway as a manager. Now they've got a top manager in. They've strengthened well. They've got Alan, they've got Rodriguez, and they've got Takore, sorted the midfield out. They've also got a guy, is it Jean, what's he called? Jean Philippe Gambin. Now, he was a decent signing that they had last year and has spent most of it injured. I'm not sure if he's fit, or does it say if he's fit? Yeah, I'm not too sure how his fitness is. He only made 2 appearances last year, but surely he can't be far off. So with him, the strength that they've had, and then Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin, I think they'll do all right. I think they will do all right. And next one's Leicester, 8th. I could put them quite easily in about 9th or 10th. They've got Europa League football. I still don't think their squad is that big, especially in defensive options. At centre-half, I thought they might have strengthened a little bit there. They've obviously lost Chilwell, but got Castagne in from Atalanta, so that's fine. They'll have Pereira to come back fit. They'll have Maddison to come back fit. So they might do well. I just think maybe the squad's, losing Jamie Vardy for an injury. He's 30, 31, 32 now. Highly likely with the way he plays that he can pick up a few injuries, and then who they're going to replace him with. So that would be a worry as a Leicester fan. I don't think they're ever going to slip into sort of like the bottom half of the table, but I still don't see them having, they finished 5th last year. I don't see that being a thing at all this year and getting even close to the Champions League this season. In 9th, I've gone Wolves. They may do even better this year. Once again, have they, they've brought in Fabio Silva, which is brilliant. Is he going to get a run necessarily straight away with Raul there? Probably not. They've lost Doherty on that right-hand side, but I think that one of the new signings can play out there. But Doherty was pretty decent for them. Once again, 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th, if one of the top teams fall off the edge of the cliff. In terms of form, are they going to see an Arsenal that we had last season? Then Wolves, like Everton, maybe even like Leicester, will be fishing around. But yeah, that little league of three, Everton, Leicester, Wolves, I do think it'll be a combination of one of those. Right, and 10th, this is sort of like the next little league table of 10th down to about 14th, 15th, I'm going to say. I'm going to go Leeds United. A couple of reasons. They've brought in a couple of decent players in Robin Koch from Freiburg and Rodrigo, centre forward. If he can score the goals, I think they can have a good season. They're not in Europe. They're going to play 8 less league games than last year. Yeah, there's no reason why they couldn't finish 10th. There's no reason why they couldn't finish 15th. But I've had to put them in some sort of order. So I've gone for Leeds in 10th. Bit of a gamble. I think a newly promoted seat, obviously Sheffield United did very well. If Sheffield United can do it, maybe Leeds United can do it and finish in the top 10 this season. 11th, I've gone for Southampton. Not really strengthened themselves in the summer, and obviously with the COVID going around, a lot of teams are not strengthening. They've brought in Kyle Walker-Peters, but they had him on loan last year. But their post return from the break that we had, their form was really, really good. They're a little bit short losing Højbjerg in there. I thought they might have, with losing Højbjerg, I thought they may have brought Lamina back in, but it seems like he's gone out to Fulham. So, yeah, it's an interesting one. I just think there's a bit of a feel-good atmosphere with, players in form at the moment. They've got Redmond, Kyle Walker-Peters is a really good signing. Danny Ings playing well. Players like Bertrand, obviously, and then they've got a couple of decent goalkeepers. I think they'll do all right. 11th is not an amazing finish, but they can finish 10th. They could even finish as low as 15th, 16th. So I'm going to go for Southampton 11th. I just think they're just on the up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to go West Ham. A lot of negativity around the club in terms of signings, but if you look at their actual squad at the moment and their group of players they've got, if they can keep them fit, they might have a decent season. I still think they're going to bring players in. They've obviously got Souček in who was pretty good for them. I've got him in my fantasy football team. He had a decent impact for them. I think they will make a couple of signings before the transfer deadline closes. Be interested to see who they need to bring in. Probably, I don't know, maybe a striker, maybe a centre half, depending on how much Moyes rates Haller. Obviously, he went with Antonio at the end of last season, but he never stays fit. So be interested to see how they do. I just think Moyes might be able to get them going a little bit. He's had a pre-season with them. The last 2 times he's been there, he's literally just had to pick up the shit from what other people have left him, and the club been a little bit in turmoil. But I know there's problems with the board, but maybe he's just got the players galvanised. Jared Bowen they got in. Fornells has had a season. Lanzini's fit. Souček I think is a really good player. Yeah, hopefully they can have a decent season for the West Ham faithful. Right, this has changed recently. I've gone Newcastle just because I did have them down quite low until they made that triple signing. I did think they were quite lucky for the majority of the season. If you look at a lot of their stats, chances created, touches in the opposition's box, it was all like 19th and 20th ranked in the Premier League. So they maybe overachieved and got slightly lucky the last year, but with the signings that they've made with Ryan Fraser, the left back Jamal Lewis, really good signing. Callum Wilson, if he can stay fit and score the goals, they may have a decent season. They brought in Maximum, had a really good impact. John Joe Shelvey came back into the fold as well, had a really good end to the season. Almiron had a really good finish as well. He improved as the season progressed, and then they've got obviously Fraser now. Jamal Lewis is a decent option down that left hand side. They may go pretty well. Anywhere between sort of like 10th and 15th, like a lot of them, they may. There's no reason why they can't finish above teams like Leeds United and Southampton, Burnley. We're going to speak about Sheffield United, West Ham. It's very, very going to be very, very tight this season, I think, between a lot of these mini leagues that are going on. Okay, next I'm going to go Sheffield United. Had a indifferent end to the season. Form dropped off a little bit. They've strengthened quite well, but nothing really amazing. Ramsdale's a good signing, yes, but they've lost Henderson. They brought in the 2 young players from Derby, Bogle, and is it Lowe? Yeah, Max Lowe. they've brought them two in, and they're necessarily going to go straight into the starting lineup. Maybe not. It'd be interesting to see what they do with Oliver Burke as well. He needs to kickstart his career again. Amapadu's a decent signing, but they were pretty good at the back. And in midfield where he can also play. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't see them finishing top half. I've got them finishing 14th. And I think Sheffield United fans would maybe take that. If you're a Sheffield United fan and watching, let me know down in the comments. Would you be happy with 14th? Are you aiming for even higher this season? Right, in 15th we've gone Burnley. They can easily finish 10th. They had a really good end, I think, to the season. They've not done anything, have they? They've not done anything. Lost Jeff Hendrick. There's nothing to tell me that they will kick on and have a really good impact. It's all down to the management of Sean Dyche, basically. They always start poorly. Be interested to see how well they start, and then they pick up as the season goes on. I don't think they're going to be anywhere near the relegation. I think Sean Dyche has got the squad too tightly drilled, and still got the quality with Wood up front, McNeil out on the wing to provide for him. I can't see them slipping, but I think they probably want to bring something in of real note. You know, losing Hendrick, I imagine he played the majority of their games for him last season, so they probably need to do bits if they're wanting to finish as well as what they did last year. I think they need to do a couple of deals. So I've just got them in 15th. Okay, I'm going to go 16th. I'm going to go Aston Villa. I think the back end of last season they did really well. They tightened up. They avoided the drop. A lot more structured in place. Decent signing. Matty Cash, fullback, really good signing. Ollie Watkins, a lot of money, but he's only young. They need something, don't they, up there? They've been quite unfortunate with injuries and players not hit the ground running. It's maybe a good thing that they've not really spent big again this summer. They spent so much last year. Them players are now had a year to adapt. They've still got some decent players. Obviously, Grealish has looked like he's staying. Trezeguet comes in hot and cold. McGinn stays fit, which they lost for a big majority of I think it was from about Christmas onwards, wasn't it? Lost McGinn. If they can be defensively sound, they may do okay and not be dragged right into that bottom three like they were for the majority of last season. So that's Aston Villa, closely followed up by Brighton in 17th. They weren't too far off the drop last year. They've strengthened pretty well with Veltman and Lallana. If they can stay fit, that'd be a good one. I'm not sure how much impact Veltman will have defensively. They were quite good with Brighton last year. Obviously, they've lost Duffy, but he didn't have a major impact on the pitch, which maybe off the pitch they may see a little bit of a loss of an impact with him. Yeah, I just think they may struggle a little bit this season, Brighton. Loving the shirt. The shirt's absolutely amazing, but yeah, I just don't know how well they're going to perform in it this season. They may be one that may really get dragged into the relegation. They weren't too far off last year. Now, they finished 15th. They finished 15th last year, 41 points. If they get anything around that again, they will be probably all right. But yeah, I just think they may be one that may slide a little bit closer to the drop. Okay, the bottom three. I've gone for Crystal Palace. I had them in the relegation last year and they did okay. I just kind of think now the squad needs rejuvenating. Roy Hodgson made a point of saying it needs rejuvenating. They've not spent anything really. They've brought in Is it Eze or Ease from QPR? Very good signing. They've still got Zaha. It looks like he's staying. He's not going to be entirely happy. He wanted to leave last year. I don't think he's going to be entirely happy staying another year when he didn't want to stay last year. The squad's ageing, struggling at the top end. Defensively, they're always sound. Roy Hodgson sets the teams up pretty well, but I think now with the teams that have come in to the Premier League over the last 2 or 3 years, have strengthened pretty well. Brighton have strengthened well. Aston Villa have strengthened. Sheffield United, Leeds United as well, newcomers. They may find it pretty tough this year, Crystal Palace. So I'm going to put them in the bottom three, along with West Brom and Fulham. We're going to talk about these sort of like as a two. I just think Fulham have strengthened recently with the goalkeeper, but is the goalkeeper going to take you on to that next level? I always think, if you're coming up for the Championship, you should really already have a decent keeper anyway. So strengthening with a goalkeeper, Areola from PSG is good, but is that gonna really save you from the drop? Probably not. It's probably what you do in the top end of the pitch. They've brought decent players in Lamine. It'd be interesting to see what he does after his loan spell at Galatasaray from Southampton. Harrison Reed's in, but they had him on loan last year, so I wouldn't class that as a really decent signing. Antoine Robinson is in from Wigan. They've strengthened all right, but it's not really Premier League saving signings, and I do think they were, for a lot of the season last year as well, Fulham, they kind of bumbled along in the Championship. They didn't really set the world alight, and obviously managed to get up. I think all the neutrals pretty much wanted Brentford to go up, so I think it's because I haven't got much affinity with Fulham, and I was so hoping Brentford would get promoted and they've kind of came up the year before and did absolutely nothing and went straight back down. I don't know, and Scott Parker as a manager, is he at the level of, he did very well at getting the club to return, but they still had a pretty decent squad for the Championship. Whether they have enough quality to stay in the Premier League, I just don't see it. And then West Brom, another side who have strengthened, but they've strengthened with players that they had on loan last year, I believe. Pereira, Denganga, who they got from West Ham, Callum Robinson, decent players, but yeah, I just don't see them. Between them, Palace, Aston Villa, Fulham, Brighton, they may well avoid the drop if a couple more teams are dragged into it. I can't see any of the middle ones. Your Leeds, your Southampton, Sheffield United, your Burnleys, even Newcastle. I can't see them being dragged into that bottom 5. So 3 out of them 5 are going to have to go down, and I just think the newcomers haven't done enough. And it'll be really down to the individual qualities of the managers. Will West Brom be able to play that pretty decent football they played in the Championship? Will they be able to redo that again in the Premier League? Charlie Austin's obviously going to be important to stay fit and score some goals. He scored goals in the Premier League before. I think there may be just 1 or 2. Like Fulham, maybe just need 1 or 2. We've still got a month to go as well, so they may be able to do a few deals in and around then. But yes, I still think they're gonna find it pretty hard. All right, there is my 20. Let me know down in the comments what you think to it. Tomorrow we're going to review the Premier League football shirts, home shirts as well. If you would like to see more of this sort of Premier League football content on the channel, sort of like short videos every week, let me know, because I'm enjoying talking about football shirts and this. I enjoy doing this every year. Would you like to see a little football video where we discuss the results from the week and stuff like that? Let me know down in the comments after that if that would be something that you would enjoy. And also comment about your predictions for the season. Last little thing, I've set up a Super 6 as well, Sky Bet, Sky Sports Super 6, where you predict the 6 results. Chance of winning 250 grand if you get it right. And also I've set up a mini league just to play against me and against other subscribers, so make sure you dive into that. It's completely free. I'll sort out some merch. I'm getting some FM Trek actual football shirts done, so it may be the case of having one of them or a mystery football shirt, stuff that's popular on the channel over the last few months. So yeah, go check that out. And once again, thanks for watching. Be nice in the comments. Cheers guys. See you later.